Welcome to Clariot Noir. The following recordings are based on real events in Bridal Veil Lake. Stories come directly from the people who have experienced them. Listener discretion is advised.
Smile Under the Hat by Andrea Tanaka. My boyfriend and I enjoyed hiking the gorge in town on the weekends, but we found something so weird during our last visit that we stopped going there altogether. We'd started a 2-week vacation and decided to camp and hike the gorge from the east to the west side, starting right at the US border. It was late summer, and the weather had been typical for Canada, hot as fuck during the day with clouds building all day toward an evening storm. There were a few other people camping along the trails, and some nights we hung out with them if they seemed sane. Some of them were creeps, though. A lot of homeless people, some recently so, were living in the gorge. I heard that there were caves next to the river, though I never saw any. We gave food and money to some folks where we could, and other people we just avoided completely. At night, we were freaked out because you never knew who might suddenly join your campfire. So it quickly became a miserable, sleepless ordeal as we were so jumpy with all these people crawling through the place, and we both agreed to end our trek early. So the next morning, we headed straight south, thinking we'd eventually come to the country highway that led up to the strip joints on the edge of Bridal Veil. From there, we'd get an Uber or something to go home. But a few hours on the trail and we had to stop for a rest because it was freaking hot. "Look," my boyfriend whispered into my ear. "What?" "Shh." I am too hot and sweaty to be shushed, and I'm about to tell him off when I see what he's looking at. There's a guy up ahead in a suit and tie. He's wearing a hat, too. His back is to us, and he's looking at a rainwater pond or something. A big puddle, basically. What's really unusual, though, is he was mid-stride, like he was about to take a step forward into the pond. "Yeah, that's weird." "Shh." My boyfriend hisses at me again. "Just look." We keep watching, and it is weird for sure, but I want to go. Then the seconds tick by, and the suit guy still hasn't moved. He hasn't finished his step. I lower my voice again to avoid being shushed. Has he moved at all? And my boyfriend looks concerned and shakes his head. "No." "Let's go," I said. But my boyfriend shakes his damn head again. He might be old or lost or something. Damn it. My boyfriend is such a good guy, aside from all the shushing, of course. And he wants to help. Hello?" My boyfriend ventures. "Are you okay?" And there's no answer. So my boyfriend steps closer. "No, don't," I tell him. I'm not sure why. I don't want to help. It just feels wrong. I want to leave. But my boyfriend ignores my warning. It gets closer, continually trying to get the man's attention. I stay where I am, which I felt a little guilty about at the time. But the whole thing was reminding me of the time that my dad took my brothers and me hiking here. We came upon a squirrel in the middle of the path, and it too was frozen. It just stared at us. And my dad told us very calmly to turn back around and walk away. My dad explained later that the squirrel probably had rabies because things in the woods just never keep still unless they've lost their minds. My boyfriend crouched a little to look under the brim of the man's hat when he got closer. He flinched like he got slapped in the face, and he started booting it right past me and way past me, just running. He did not wait for me. He was just going. "What the fuck?" I yell after him, and I start going, but I can't keep up because he's got a head start on me. And then I'm lost, and I have to find my way out of the woods alone. And I am shitting bricks here. By chance, we happened to go a similar way, and I stumbled upon him at a truck stop diner. And I saw him hugging his knees, rocking back and forth. He's whispering, muttering under his breath, and I go closer. I am scorched, dripping in sweat, and I'm about to yell without mercy when he says a little bit louder, "No eyes, no eyes. A smile under the hat. There's just a smile under that hat." And I take a second and I sit beside him and I touch his leg and just try to be near him until he seems to realize that I'm there. I ask him about the guy, and my boyfriend looks shocked all over again, like he's going to start rambling again. Instead, he says, "That wasn't a man. He didn't have eyes or anything above the smile." "Do you mean to say like he had a deformity?" I ask. But he shakes his head. No. It was dark there. So dark and cold. So cold. A dark no one can see into. So dark the light couldn't get in. He rambles like that a little bit longer, and then he goes quiet as we're waiting for the Uber. In the Uber, we don't talk. I get dropped off first at my place. We don't kiss, we don't say goodbye. And you know what? I'm not totally surprised that my boyfriend ghosted me after that. We'd been dating for too long. The ghosting was acceptable, but I was kind of happy about it. I was relieved that we didn't have to talk about what had happened, that the memory of it could just dissipate over time. Unfortunately for him, I found out later that his life went to shit after that day. He got really into drugs, and apparently he spent some time in jail. I don't really know what happened to him after that, because I got the fuck out of Bridal Veil Lake.